Hello, thanks for tuning in. My name is Artem and I have one too many projects, which is exactly why I decided that I need another one. So if you're new to the channel, I'm currently in the middle of fixing my Touareg, which needs a new engine. I have a new engine, but I still have some stuff to swap around between the old engine and the new engine, and then the subframe off the parts car. There's a lot going on. But in the middle of all that, I was just like, you know what? I kind of need some more excitement in my life. So why not overwhelm myself a little more? Because clearly I have a little too much free space. So I went and bought a C5 Allroad, which is a bit of a hoopty. Seems like this car has quite a history. Maybe, potentially, there will be a viewer that will actually recognize it. Let me just get this out of the way. We don't need that for now. This guy here is pretty known for being one of the worst Audis ever made. Audi Allroads, I mean, it's been said many times by many people. I don't agree with any of those people, but it is known for being one of the most unreliable Audis ever made. However, this is not one of them. Well, it is, but for different reasons. There were a few different variations of this car. First of all, there's one that came with a V8, and there's one that came with a 2.7 V6 twin turbo, the same engine that came in a B5 S4, which I also own and I love. And it's probably the car that I will die with. I'm not entirely sure what engine this car came with originally, but I would assume it was a 2.7. However, it was swapped for an S4 2.7. So potentially there was an issue with the original motor that came in this. There were a few major issues with these cars which gave them such a bad reputation. Number one was air suspension, number two was automatic transmissions, and number three was the 2.7 twin turbo engine, which in reality is actually pretty reliable. You just need to know what to look out for, and yes, there's some issues like turbos will need to be replaced at some point, but overall it's a very reliable engine. My B5 S4 has 280,000 miles, so it's lasted quite a lot and it's had a pretty hard life. So we got the three major issues that these Allroads came with. Air suspension, not a problem because this one has been swapped to coilover. The second common problem with these is the transmission. The automatic transmission in these was a Tiptronic. If you're familiar with Audis, you know that that translates to Tip Tragic. However, I don't know if this is original to this car, but it does have a 6-speed manual, 01E. Which is the same transmission that came in the B5 S4s. And then third, the engine. Yes, it does have some issues, but honestly none of them are that significant. Usually it has to do with plastic pieces coming apart and causing boost leaks, vacuum leaks, and oil leaks. Overall, it is a very, very reliable and good engine in my opinion. So those are the three issues that would have been a problem with this car. However, like I said, they're not. We have no reasons to hate it, right? Wrong. In this configuration with a 6-speed manual and the 6-cylinder twin turbo motor, in good condition this car could go for probably around $6,000. I ended up buying it for $2,200 with 2 sets of wheels. So some questionable things about this. Number one, I don't really know how I feel about these. Not the biggest fan. This is NRG. I don't love the gold, not really my style. How does this work? Okay. I do have some OEM Audi steering wheels that I think I'll be able to put on. Unfortunately, I don't have airbags for them, but who needs airbags anyway? Some of the good things about this, I do really like the carbon fiber interior trim. I would assume it is wrapped. I also really like this shift knob. It's an B5 S4 shift knob. Pretty nice. It's got an S4 engraving on it. Very pretty. I might even put that into my S4 instead of what I have in there now. This actually comes in handy sometimes, huh? You might have also noticed that it has some seats that don't belong in this car. They come out of a C7 S6, which is kind of cool, but they're not bolted down because they are now meant for this car. And the rails were never finished by the previous owner, so that's something I'm gonna have to take care of. So that brings us to one of the issues. The seats are very, very unsecured, or shall we say they're very insecure. Just like me. At least the driver's seat, one of the corners of the driver's seat is welded on, and it keeps the seat from sliding everywhere, so it's sort of kind of secured, but I definitely wouldn't want to drive it much. You might have also noticed that it's missing the bumper covers, both front and rear. That's just how the car came from the previous owner. He said that he was parting it out for some time, and I guess that's one of the very few things that he sold. So I do plan on getting those eventually, but we definitely have some bigger issues to worry about first. More specifically, the fact that it had caught on fire. I believe he said he was rebuilding the turbos, and he never reinstalled the little heat shields that go above the turbos and protect things. What that ended up up leading to is that the wiring harness was touching the downpipe and the turbo right below it, and it had caught on fire. And as you can see, the previous owner did sort of kind of repair it. It's certainly far from great and perfect, but the car does run. Started right up. Besides the dead battery, it probably has a battery drain because of the damages to the wire harness, and it had also fried that ECU. You can even see some burn marks on the hood. The majority of the wiring harness is still okay, and like I said, it still runs and drives, so I call that a win. We have some aftermarket wheels. It's not awful. I almost like it. I'm definitely more into a more classic look, more of something that doesn't scream as much as this does. Maybe I'll get these powder coated black and I'll like them more. And to each their own. I don't judge. I actually thought these were 3-piece wheels, but I don't think they are. I think these are fake. Oh yeah, so fake. So very fake. It also did come with another set of wheels, which are in the back seat, and they look okay. I also don't think they're a very reputable brand, but I got this for cheap enough. Beggars can be choosers. Unfortunately, we do have some quarter panel damage over here. It looks like somebody has tried pulling it out with those glue body repair kits, something that started rusting here. This is a very common place for these to start rusting on the hatch because people don't wash these out enough. In case you didn't know, if you want to keep body rust from happening, you need to really pressure wash into any areas where you have plastic trim attached to the body, because that's where dirt and salt and grime gets built up and starts rusting with time. People will spend hours polishing out of their paint, but they won't do something as simple as properly rinsing out all the little cracks where the bad stuff likes to get collected. And then another rust spot is right here. Once again, right by the trim piece. Luckily, both of these things, the hatch and the door, easy to replace. The part out I found locally for the bumpers only wanted like 50 bucks for both bumpers and the exhaust. If you can see that, that's our downpipe hanging down and not attached to anything behind it. So we are missing the entire rear section of the exhaust. But yeah, like I said, the guy who was selling me the bumpers only wanted 50 bucks for the exhaust and both bumpers, which is a great deal. So I assume that he's not going to want a whole lot more for the door and the hatch. Maybe like 100 bucks for the two. That would be fantastic. We also have a window that doesn't want to stay up, and the little antenna is missing. So here's the thing. I love wagons. Most European car enthusiasts do. However, I don't really know what my plan for this car is. I own a car dealership. As of very recently, I started my own car dealership, and for a while now I've been buying, fixing, selling cars. Potentially that's what's going to happen with this one. Maybe I'm just going to get it into really nice shape and sell it, because if this car was all sorted out, it would be quite valuable as far as I know. However, I just love wagons so much, but at the same time I can't keep this because I have too many cars. Sorry about that. I hope the audio wasn't too bad. It turns out I forgot to plug in my mic. I have this B5S4, which I will probably keep forever. It's one of those cars that I absolutely adore, but at the same time, it does have that same engine that's in the Allroad. It has basically everything that Allroad does, but it's not a wagon. So theoretically, the Allroad is a better car, but I just really like this model. I love this generation, and I really don't know what I would want to keep. And I also have this Touareg, which needs a new engine, and it's getting a new engine, and once it's fixed, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere either, because I need to keep this to haul my new cars from auctions and any non-driving vehicles that I may have. I tend to have quite a bit of them. I don't know, it's like they're gravitating to me at all times. So I need something that can haul a decent amount of weight, which this Touareg can do, and it does do it pretty well. So I can't get rid of this. I can't really get rid of the B5S4 unless I do. I don't know, guys, help me out. Put it in the comments. Tell me what I should do. I don't think I can keep 3 cars. I need to make my money back, and you know, this is a business. I need to make profit, and I can't keep hoarding projects and unreliable cars. B5S4 is such a legendary car. Allroad is a wagon. What's more important? What do I like more? I don't know. So if you happen to like my personality, please subscribe. Maybe you'll enjoy the content I put out in the future. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a good day.